overweight East African baby mama thinks that she deserves a $150,000 man. She's the Lulu. Let's check it out.
Maureen. Maureen from Kenya, lives in the Philippines, 38, mom to a 9-year-old, was once married. Now she works for the United what?
Nations.
Nations. All right. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
A kind man. You have to be kind to yourself first, because that way then you can be kind to me. Someone who's well educated and well read. Basically, if you don't know where Kenya is, that's a problem. If you don't know where the Philippines is, that's a problem, you know? So I just need people who know more than their surroundings. There's a lot of Americans here in the Philippines, so even after traveling so far from the US to come to the Philippines, are still a bit rough around the edges in terms of their knowledge. I think most of them are probably in the army or this used to be a US base at some point. There was a US base here. So when I meet the Americans, they are not very well read. There's many other nationalities here. So you'd find other nationalities are more, whether it's British, whether it's Europeans, they're more well-versed. So I need someone like that. And also it's because of the nature of my work. The nature of my work and just the nature of the people I hang around with. You're hanging around with a lot of diplomats, a lot of well-educated people. So you need to be able to keep up in terms of the conversation. So be someone who's at least ready to learn, ask questions if you don't know, but you're also quite open-minded in terms of your mind is open to learning new things and exploring the world, okay? Exploring the world. So you need to be kind to yourself, kind to me. You need to be someone who is quite self-aware, a good communicator. You need to be great at communicating. I don't mean calling me all the time, etc. But I mean when you communicate, it needs to be clear, it needs to be concise, it needs to send the message across. Okay. You also, I don't mind someone who has kids, because and someone who's raised sons. And I think for me, I'm at a point where any man who would enter my life now would need to be someone who I would be able to see as a potential father to my son. Why I say this is, you may have your own kids, but you'd need to be also willing and ready to be a father to a woman with a son, because he's at that age where he's starting to ask those questions. A 9-year-old is, preteen,
Where's
starting
his
to ask all those
father?
questions. Huh?
Where's his real father?
His real father is back in Kenya,
So, okay.
not involved, like nothing. Yeah,
Okay.
they do communicate. Like I gave my son a phone. There's no communication with me. I prefer it that way. You don't need to call me. I bought my son a phone. Call him. He can call you anytime. Just don't call me. Like we were done. We're done. So you can have access to your son, but no access to me.
Okay. Okay. So what are your deal breakers?
Deal breakers. So you don't have a passport. That's a problem. That's a problem. Let's start there. Because the nature of my job is one where we'll move around a lot. Now, if you do want a situation where we are settling down together, it would likely mean that then I'm the one coming to you and moving to you, right? If that is the case, then you would need to be in the 150K upwards bracket, okay? So if you're not there and that is what you want, then it would be a deal breaker if you're below that bracket. Poor communication is another deal breaker. Just poor communication, and poor communication, whether it's with your family, whether it's with you have kids, if you have grown kids, young kids, poor communication all around. Like I'd need to see what kind of communicator you are. And if you're a poor communicator with other people, then you'll be a poor communicator with me. So that's a deal breaker for sure. Yeah, I think not using proper English, You use too much colloquialism. Yeah, too much of that. I mean, it's fun with friends, and in a social setting, but yeah, just communicate properly. Use proper English. Use proper English.
Man, you are the East African Rasputia. This has got to be Eddie Murphy trolling the chat. Ain't no way you calling in with all of these demands and telling us you don't want to hear any American colloquialisms. You're missing your whole hairline. How you getting on here with a receding hairline trying to tell us what the hell you want? Let's keep going.
Um, you you can be anywhere in the world. You don't have to be American. You can be anywhere in the world. I just need someone who is a professional. You need to be a professional in all ways. In your career, you need to be professional, a professional of sorts. So you could be a suit, a banker, finance. You could be in project management. You could be in construction. You could be in, wherever. But just be a professional. So you need to be presentable as I am. Okay. So when I'm standing next to you, it's like, yes, this is my man. You get what I mean? You get what I mean, Kendra, right?
So, okay. Let me jump in here. He has to be presentable. I think you mentioned it earlier. He has to make at least 150K.
Yes, this is because I mean, I still want maybe one or two more kids. I would like to have more kids, sorry. So that would mean a situation where then I'm coming to you to, if we're starting a family, etc. Right? But if I'm okay, also if we reach, because I'm getting to an age where kids are really not a thing. So if we are at that point where you don't want more kids, I don't want more kids, we just wanna just enjoy life together, enjoy the world together, then I'd be okay with 100K, because then I mean, it would mean then I'm still working, right? So I'm okay with 100K and maybe 80. It depends on which state you're from. If you're in the US, if you're in Europe, I don't know, 100K would probably cut it in Europe. Below that would be, different. If you're in Africa, again, 80K equivalent would be
So
fine.
150 is for Europe. Is that American? Like, what would it be for American?
So 150 USD. I'm using USD because
Oh,
I
okay.
guess
You're telling
a
me,
large
okay. So for
percentage
the
of your
American
audience
perspective,
is,
he has to make equivalent to 150K.
yes. So that's the annual equivalent I'm talking about.
So let me just ask you one question. So if a man made 85K American money, you can't date him.
It would depend on what he's looking for. Is he the type who wants me to be at home? You want me to be at home? Then 85K, I don't know. It depends on which state. You see, again, the cost of living in different American states is different. So 85K, say in Georgia, is different from maybe 85K in New York.
Absolutely.
You understand?
So do you want to move to the States? Because I know you're in the Philippines right now.
I'm not opposed to it. I would prefer someone who wants to live outside the US. If you're American, it's fine. That would be okay. Because then it creates you. It means you're a person who's adventurous. If you're a remote worker, then it means then you can come to me. So then we can make the money work if you're coming to me. Or moving with me wherever I'm moving to.
Oh, they can move in. They can move in with you?
Yes, we can have that conversation.
Okay.
We can have that conversation.
Okay. For some reason, these questions, okay.
I need to be able to hear them.
Taxmaster said, man, please wait until you leave the Philippines because you can't compete with the Philippines there. They're more fit, feminine, and don't have your wild requirements.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go on YouTube and just put on. Okay,
Hello?
go again with your question, Kendra. Sorry.
This is what a
Repeat the
person
question.
said. Taxmaster DFW said, man, please wait until you leave the Philippines because you can't compete with the Filipinas there. They are more fit, feminine, and don't have your wild requirements. What?
100%.
I can't
It's
hear
not that
you.
they're fit feminine. Filipino women, this is the thing with Filipino women from my observation. Because Philippines is a developing country, the men are not your working type of man. They don't like to work, they're lazy, right? But then you'll find that the women want a man, the foreigners, because the foreigners are able to take care of their whole family. They're able to take care of their father, their mother, their brothers, their sisters. So they are just, Filipino women are very aggressive. Let me tell you, they are more aggressive than Africans. But they conform to fit what it is a man is looking for. But once they have you, let me tell you, you are done for.
Okay. We did the Kendra Cam already? Okay. All right. Okay, we see you, girlfriend. We got you, mama. All right.
Whoever sent that comment, he busts her ass. She's in the Philippines with a $150,000 requirement. Do you know how many beautiful Filipino women you can gather with 150K? And then she had the nerve to stand up and twirl those little flapjacks around. That thing is shaped like an upside down triangle. Literally. You're done, man. There's absolutely no reason why a man wants to take his hard-earned $150,000 a year and share it with you. We want fit, feminine, friendly, agreeable. That's mainly what's deserving of the type of man that you're looking for. And I know there's Eddie Murphy up under that bodysuit. Kendra G, you ain't slick. We know what you're doing. This can't be real life. Shout out to Kendra G, man.